Frigid Florida, temperatures in the mid-20s Fahrenheit here overnight, and barely into the 30s here at Lake Nona Golf and Country Club at 1 o'clock Eastern time here in the U.S. It's supposed to be the final round of the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions, but round 3 never finished yesterday because of high winds that blew through central Florida. Nelly Korda shot 64 yesterday to go from 3 shots behind to 3 shots in front, but play was suspended at 4:19 local time because of those high winds, and so 8 players left on the golf course still with golf to finish in round 3. And earlier today, the LPGA announced that this tournament will be shortened to 54 holes. Take a look at the statement put out by the LPGA just a little bit ago. Based on conversations with rules officials, tournament staff, partners of the grounds team, it is now a 54-hole event, and the 8 players who haven't finished round 3 will come back to do that at 2:15 Eastern time. That's a little over an hour from now. And here's why they're able to get in just a little bit of golf today. They believe that at 2:15, it's going to be the peak temperature, the warmest it will be all day. Still very, very cold. And they believe they can get in a little bit of golf. And there is still a mathematical chance for Amy Yang, with 2 holes to go, to perhaps catch Nelly Korda. It certainly looks good for Nelly, even though the final round has been canceled. Announcement just came a little bit ago from the LPGA that this final round has been canceled. The tournament has been shortened to 54 holes, and these 8 players left on the golf course, including Lim Kim, including Amy Yang, the only player with any kind of a chance to even catch Nelly Korda. That's going to begin in about 1 hour's time. Take a look at this largest ever field for the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions in its 8th playing, going back to 2019. 39 LPGA winners in the field. Nelly Korda, she's done, finished yesterday, leads by 3, and again, the resumption of round 3 a little over 1 hour from now. Much different conditions, much different story this year. This is a live look on this Sunday, February 1st, 2026. Lydia Ko getting ready, one of the 8 players still with golf left to play in round 3, which will be the final round of this Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. The tournament's been shortened to 54 holes. There's Amy Yang, the only player left with holes to play who has a chance to catch Nelly Korda. Welcome to Lake Nona in Central Florida. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel. Morgan, you said yesterday Florida is broken with these cold temperatures. The LPGA didn't feel like they could fix it. The decision to shorten the event to 54 holes, your thoughts?
Yeah, I have never played golf in freezing or below freezing conditions, so I don't really know what it was like out there firsthand this morning. But one of the caddies that I spoke to was out on the putting green at 9 a.m. He said that the ground was frozen, that they poured some water onto the putting green and the water itself froze there. But he did feel like they could start at 11 a.m. There's a little bit of a general sense of frustration as this was all forecasted, and nothing really has been a surprise what has happened here weather-wise so far this week. I've spoke to a couple other players who said that they felt like it was unplayable and generally are happy with the decision. So I'm getting a little bit of mixed conversation from what's happening within the locker room there. For me as a competitor, it's a tough decision, but I would always love to see a tournament go through to its completion of 72 holes here. No matter how unpleasant it may be and how much I might not personally want to go out and play in the weather, we are competitors and we want to see the tournament finished. So it's hard to argue. As the celebrity competition did finish this morning, Annika went out and said that she texted me and said she was surprised by the decision for the LPGA Tour. And, you know, I think we're all just a little bit kind of wondering what is going on here.
And again, a big difference between those playing mostly for fun in the celebrity competition versus a tournament of this caliber for sure. We'll hear from the LPGA a little bit later on as well. We'll hear from our champion. It's not over. Still a couple of holes to go, and Amy Yang again is going to play the par 3 17th here in just a moment. She would have to play, as we said, 17 and the par 4 18th in a combined 3 under or better to catch Nelly. But
today said it was actually harder yesterday and more unplayable yesterday than what they played in this morning in those freezing temperatures. So Nelly, of course, just having to sit and wait, and with basically one hand on the trophy at this point.
Well, and that's why she is out there. You never quite know. There's Amy Yang, the major champion from Sahali back in 2024. She won the CME Group Tour Championship back in 2023. Lydia Ko on her way out to the 17th. She's got to finish the 16th, actually, first. She's got a par putt still to go. Great opportunity for Nelly Korda to get her 16th career victory. Players heading back onto the course to resume round 3, which will be the final round of this year's event. It's been shortened to 54 holes. Morgan and I are joined by Tom Abbott. He's got the 17th hole for us. Paige McKenzie and Amelia Duran are out there on the golf course. And Amy Rogers will be out there with interviews and the trophy presentation as well. So here's Nelly. Again, having to be prepared just in case. Amy Yang has 6 career aces. Well, we're back at the 17th, Tom, and this was kind of the scene of where things really unraveled yesterday with Yumin Huang putting for par. It wound up at that point.
As we hear the horn being blown there to signal that play is going to be restarted. Yes, I mean, you have to feel a little bit for Yumin Huang. She was putting for par, and now she's chipping for bogey because of those really difficult conditions. You can see the flag is blowing towards her there. And then back on the tee, you've got Amy Yang and Nasa Hataoka trying to stay warm. They're going to wait for Yumin Huang to finish up. But I think she's the one that really was unlucky with that wind whipping up at the end. And obviously it's cost her potentially a couple of shots. Depends what she does here. If she chips it in, you could say maybe it didn't cost her a shot at all. But let's hope she can get it up and down and move on. But certainly costly. Get it up and down for a double bogey. Currently in a tie for third. She's going to have a bit of work to do just to save her bogey. Brooke Henderson in the house with a round of 66 yesterday. Really great round of golf, overshadowed a little bit by what Nelly Korda did, but 66 was great going. Let's go up to the 18th.
And the defending champion, Alim Kim, she's had those bunny ear muffs on for the last couple of days. Yeah, take a bow. She did last year here. Held off Nelly Korda. They were tied with 3 holes to go, and Alim pulled away.
It does get a little colder in Bradenton than in Boca, but...
Yeah. By the way, Alim playing alone here because in round 3, it was one LPGA player with 2 celebrities. So she's out there solo and finishing up with a nice up and down for par. Top 10 finish for the U.S. Open champ, who won it in very chilly conditions in December of 2020, the COVID year. And her countrywoman, who, like Alim the year before, won the Lotte Championship. Tom, you were out there. She was a sponsor invite, and now she's an LPGA rookie.
I have to say, it was a bit of a surprise. It's a player that is not very well known in the U.S. Came over to Hawaii on a sponsor invite, got the victory against a good field, and here she is in the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of the Champions. This is for the double bogey. If she makes triple bogey here, she falls into a tie for 5th. If she makes double, she stays on her own in 5th place. Of course, has 1 hole to play. So this one could be worth a bit of money and some CME points come the end of the day. Let's see if she can make it. Problem is you're putting back down the hill and down the breeze here.
I'd be surprised if this is short, though it looks like it's got plenty of pace. The fear of putting it off the green, being back downhill and downwind.
Well, let's keep an eye on this one because the breeze is going that way. Not as strong as it was yesterday, but she's still got a little bit of work to do for her triple bogey.
A par putt at the 16th for Lydia Ko in the final group here of round 3, and Paige McKenzie is out there for this putt.
Yeah, and for this putt, I see it kind of inside left edge. She had left her tees overnight. We're not here this morning, so best guess with the LPGA rules official and caddy to put her back in the correct position.
The celebrities played 9 holes on the back this morning, went out at 10 o'clock local time with the temperature, actual temperature was right at freezing. And it seems like almost a year ago that Lydia Ko and Lottie Woe took the lead into the weekend, Morgan.
A lot has happened since then.
It's a bogey.
It's not the way, only a couple holes to go, but not what you've thought about all night is that 5-footer, and it's frustrating to come out and miss it.
She hadn't made a bogey all week until that 12th hole yesterday, as the conditions
Keep
were
that target, right?
getting worse. This hour of Tracer Technology is presented by Progressive Insurance.
So Nasa Hataoka and Amy Yang have been waiting on the tee. Yumin Wang did make her double bogey. Amelia Doran is, triple bogey. Amelia Doran is out there for us watching. Amelia, welcome to the coverage, and what a day to do it on in these conditions.
Oh man, what a day to do it. 138 yards for Nasa Hataoka. She's hitting a 6-iron straight into the wind, front hole location. You have to flight this down.
That's up in the wind.
That's a floater turning left.
So she's going to have a difficult putt across the green. You can see that breeze just gusting.
Now, if you're in between clubs, you have to err along with the front hole location and fall off on both sides. That is the smart play from Hataoka. And Amy Yang, who needs to go 3 under to match Nelly Korda and get into playoff, because how difficult the conditions are, the strategy stays the same.
Yeah, she must make a birdie here and hope for a hole out of the second, or make a hole in one here and birdie the last. Not sure which is easier or harder.
These are both 2 of the toughest holes in this golf course. Also a 6-iron for Yang. In order to knock the ball down, you have to club up and have good rhythm. One of Yang's biggest strengths is her tempo. Nice fade into the wind. This is straight at it.
Giving herself a chance for the 2. Back on Sunday at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions, we are wrapping up the 3rd round, and this will be a 54-hole event. So coming down to the conclusion here on the 17th hole, Nasa Hataoka should have a birdie putt here. Amelia?
A birdie putt, but it's extremely difficult. Outside of 40 feet, downwind, down grain, and very quick. We saw a putt come off the screen yesterday. Nasa's doing exactly what she should be, breaking this putt up in half, trying to find the spot about halfway where you feel like you're putting a 20-footer. You commit to that. Just felt a gust of wind, so this is going to be very tricky to judge with speed.
Well, they will know, Morgan, exactly what happens with this putt, having seen the video from yesterday, and they were standing on the tee watching Yumin Wang having issues up on the green when play was suspended, so they will know exactly what this does. Very, very tricky. You've got to be in your head about what could happen.
Put it off the green. I mean, that is in your head. Amelia, what does it look like there relative to the winds and how it would affect this putt?
Well, especially because the wind is gusty, you never know when you're going to get that gust to blow it another 5 feet. If I'm Nasa, I'm picturing the hole is about 5 feet shorter than it actually is. And then if I have to make a 5-footer for par, I just got to do that. Turning left early, then right at the hole. This has some pace to it.
This could go off the green here. It's got to sit down.
She did not hit that hard. We're just getting another gust of wind.
So problems for Nasa Hataoka, who was out of the running for winning, but obviously a lot of money on the line, race to the CME Globe points, and this is going to be costly at the 17th hole.
All right, so we're up at the 18th. Amy Yang must make her birdie putt at the 17th and then do what Yumin Wang did a couple of days ago, and that's make a 2 here at the 18th. Could be done. We've seen it done. And Yumin getting her first full season of the LPGA Tour started. Same story for Lottie Woe, you see there. tied for 5th.
This has been my first opportunity to meet Yumin. Met her on the range earlier this week. Watched her hit a few shots, and certainly what we've seen so far, the start of her first full season, looks to have all the tools. Very steady player. It'll be fun to watch her in her first full season on tour.
3 wins on the KLPGA and that victory in Hawaii last fall as a sponsor invite. You see she's got the Lotte gear going, bundled up as all of us are. Back to 17.
Now the third for Nasa.
Not the greatest lie, nestled in the rough, and it's sticky, easy to air along.
Could that come back? Hopefully it's going to stick there.
This time yesterday afternoon it might have, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it just as the afternoon went on yesterday, those wind gusts picked up as the front was coming through Florida. Amy Yang needs to make this one. If Amy misses this birdie putt, it's basically Nelly's tournament. Not officially, because she could technically make a hole-in-one on the 18th, but maybe that Hataoka is still away, Amelia.
It looks that way. Yang and Hataoka were conversing, and Nasa's going to go ahead and go. This is where you want to leave this chip. It's just unfortunate that it is now for a bogey. That's the challenge with this hole. The error is long, but then you have a really challenging putt. This shouldn't have a ton of break to it, although the greens are some of the trickiest. Just because of the grain, it's very difficult to read. There should not be a whole lot of break. Like hitting this with some pace inside the hole.
It's just hard, Amelia. I mean, it's tough when you're trying to get the feel like of her first putt there, and your hands are frozen. You're doing everything you can to stay warm.
But it's just so rattling too. Your first putt of the day, you got 2 holes left, you punt it off the green, you try to go through your routine. But like you said, Morgan, your hands are frozen stiff.
The greens still look very, very fast out there. Obviously not going to get a lot of growth with this temperature. And now Amy Yang. Really important putt here. She needs to make it to have any chance, and then she would need to hold her second shot at the 18th to force a playoff.
The key is committing to that start line. The grain is moving to the right. I see this about a cup out left.
Quite comfortable.
Just a gust of wind, maybe?
Yeah, another gust of wind. It's at her back, too, which will throw off her balance.
No. So it looks like Nelly Korda will be the champion of champions. Still not official, but the second or third hole onwards, she started birdie, eagle, and was just off to the races. Fantastic golf from Nelly Korda. Fully deserved to be the champion here. Hataoka for the double bogey. Member here, plays a lot of golf at Lake Nona. Very popular figure here, as you would expect, being a member. A lot of support. People following her season, looking at the results, seeing how she's doing, and they saw her getting a win late in the year last year.
Here's the 22-year-old Yumin Wang. Nearly a 24-hour wait between golf from yesterday afternoon when play was called a little after 4 o'clock until after 2 o'clock local time. Welcome to the LPGA, Yumin Wang. A rookie, but already a winner. Back to 17.
It's been a long wait to hit this tee shot for Lottie Woad. Let's see what she can do, Paige.
Yeah, and not exactly one you look forward to overnight, knowing this is your first shot out in this cold, difficult weather. So anything, again, on the green, putting below the hole would be ideal.
She's aimed well right here.
It's on a great line.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to stay? It might wander back towards that rough.
Just got eaten up by the wind there, Tom. It's just a brutal hole location. You add the wind on top of it. It's not a lot of margin for error there.
Well, does Amy Yang have a 397-yard tee shot in her?
Yep. Maybe a couple sprinkler heads along the way.
Yeah, something. You never know. Yeah, I think you do know now. One more swing will make it official. Nelly Korda is going to have her 16th LPGA title.
Well, this is a difficult tee shot to commit to, Grant, with the wind out of the left penalty area there, too. It forces you to aim in a spot that you're not as comfortable with. If you don't want to aim as far left, you have to hit a draw against this left to right wind.
A good one, but not quite good enough. And that makes it official. Nelly Korda has won the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. 16th career victory, her 20th Hall of Fame point. And she does here in week 1 of 2026 what she couldn't do all of last year, win on the LPGA Tour. Congratulations, Nelly. Not today. Temperatures barely hitting 40 degrees, but such great hosts extending now for the next couple of years, hosting this Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. Nelly Korda has won this season opening event, shortened to 54 holes because of the inclement conditions. Amelia Duran is out there watching Amy Yang finishing up.
As far as front to back goes. Like at it? I like at it.
166 yards for Yang. Flag is middle left, back into the wind as well. In the toughest conditions yesterday, Yang went on a run, birdieing 13, 15, and 16. Bit of an awkward change of momentum for her, having to come out and finish these last 2 holes. This is leaking towards the left side. There's penalty area there.
All right, Nelly Korda has wrapped up her 16th career victory. We'll talk to her in just a moment. 72 hole events the rest of the year.
Well, listen,
with the LPG.
Appreciate you, Grant, so much. There's so much more golf to be played, and we're so excited about our enhanced broadcast with you all. So thank you very much for having me.
As well, thank you. Amy Yang at the 18th. It is official. Nelly Korda is the winner. Win number 16. She has doubled her win total from a couple of years ago, from 8 to 16 now, moving a point closer to the LPGA Hall of Fame. And she will have fended off PGA Hall of Fame member in doing so, Lydia Ko. How about Nasa Hataoka here, Amelia?
Well, it's similar to the 17th where she had a tricky downhill putt. The wind is less prevalent on this 18th green. It will be easier than the birdie try she had on 17. About 30 feet. Still need to treat this like a 25-footer. The last 10 feet will really pick up speed. This should also turn slightly to the left. When you get on greens that are extremely quick, you want to err on that high side, because if it gets on the low side, it starts to run away from you.
That's Lake Nona you're hearing. Just a tough finish for NASA. It was at 8 under par at one point on the back nine yesterday.
Going all the way back to the end of play yesterday.
Yeah. Back to the tee and Lydia Ko.
Yeah, and wind has settled down just a little bit as she's standing over the ball now. But this hole plays significantly longer than it has earlier in the week. Thank you.
That'll play just fine up the left side. A little bit shorter angle into the hole from over there.
This was the beginning of a magical year for Lydia back in 2024. Won here and then won the Olympic gold medal like Nelly Korda has done. Lydia went on to win at the old course of the AIG Women's Open, part of a multiple win season for her. Nasa, the comebacker for par.
And there's a lot of takeaways that players can come away from after having delays finishing the third round, these last couple holes. You're going to have all kinds of adversity in different ways in the season, and it's just a matter of how you maintain your composure and stick with your routine. That's what these players talk about all the time, and that's what NASA's going to do to try and finish out for par on this last hole. Not a ton of movement.
She's just struggling with her speed control here on these final two holes today.
Yeah, in with the par. Really, it was that closing stretch that made Nasa's score balloon. Great to have her back at her home course, Lake Nona. Won at the end of last year in her home country of Japan. Her 7th LPGA title. And now Amy Yang with a par putt. Got second place locked up.
When you get on quick greens and you have putts inside of 10 feet, it's really easy to tighten your grip pressure through the strike because you're just trying to get it in there. Very important to maintain that even grip pressure. This will turn to the right outside the hole.
Couple of pars on a morning and an afternoon when she needed a miracle to catch Nelly Korda. No one would catch. 2024 Player of the Year. That 64 leads to Nelly's 16th career win. We'll hear from Nelly in a bit. Last group finishing up at the 18th, Lydia Ko second.
It's a 4 hybrid. It's a lot of club for only 175 yards. Going to be manufactured.
Trickle down off the green. Ends up hanging on there. Going to be a bit of a quick putt. Second half of that putt right there.
And now Lottie Woad.
Majority of the wind from left to right. This is a 5-iron. Gets a little scary when you're aiming left at this whole location, but you're going to have to with this wind direction. This has got to be careful.
No. The penalty area.
You can make par from there. We saw that this week. And for those wondering, Paige, when they see David Taylor, her caddy, wearing shorts, can you just confirm how cold it is out there?
It's quite cold. It is bitter. And I did speak to him about that, and he said, I don't like wearing rain pants. He's like, I'm from north of Scotland, and this is like a nice summer day out there. So he's kind of in a league of his own in that regard, though, today.
Paige, my longtime caddy, Rock, would always wear shorts, no matter what the temperature. He's from Boston, you know.
Insanity. You got Lydia over here in snow pants.
I'd be in the snow
And
pants.
earmuffs, yeah. Lydia's going to go, Paige, I think?
She is.
Yeah.
And she's in the low part of this green. Interestingly, about halfway through is when it comes into this valley towards the back of the green. So for her putt is uphill the whole way. It might try to turn downhill at the very end or anything past the hole, so she does need to be aware of that. a good judge of speed, or good test of speed, I should say.
I like that she takes those practice swings, looking at the hole, just to get a real feel for what she needs to do here. Misread there. Surprising for a player who I'm sure has hit that putt many times, but that just goes to a bit of the conditions and being so cold. It's hard to feel your hands.
It is, Morgan, at this point, and your hands stay out of your pockets for any extended amount of time. The tops of your hands get really cold, so it can affect your touch and feel around the greens, as well as just having extra layers. It definitely throws you off. In fact, I saw Lydia earlier on 16th hole take her earmuffs off. I think there's an auditory component to this too. If you're used to hearing the sounds, and when you cover your ears, it can throw all the feels that happen in golf off a little bit.
This is for par.
Yep, smart play, taking the putter, less likely to get away from her. As I mentioned before, she had good touch with the wedge on the previous hole, but this will allow less room for error.
So she'll fall out of that tie for 5th, into a tie for 7th if she makes that with world number 1 Gino Titicun. Lottie was an amateur up until last summer. Won on the LET in Ireland as an amateur. Going away, in fact, beat a terrific field, and then almost won a major championship at Evian as an amateur. Missed out by 1. And then graduated through that LEAP program. First ever Elite Amateur Pathway graduate. And she won her very first start as a pro, like Rose Zhang did. 2023, and like Beverly Hansen did 70 some odd years ago. Lydia for her par now.
And Morgan, there's been a couple putts throughout this week that we've seen the putt not start exactly on her intended line, and the misses have been just to the right. This is one that will want to leak to the right, so very important that she gets started on her intended line.
When I talked to her putting coach, Chris Cho, earlier this week, her tendency is to stand open a little bit, causing her to pull it. So interesting that she's been missing them a little bit right, maybe a slight overcorrection to what they've been working on with her alignment.
And that locks up 4th alone.
Dead center right there. It's been like an emotional roller coaster for these players, having finished yesterday or not finished yesterday, playing in those conditions, mentally fatigued, coming out today, not really knowing what was going to happen, preparing for all different sorts of situations. I mean, I know it comes with the territory. Anybody who's played this game at this level long enough is used to those kinds of days, but Paige, it just can wear on you.
It's keeping you on your toes, that's for sure. And for these players, it's just been a grind in the last 24 hours, as difficult as the conditions got yesterday, and same this morning. These last couple holes with the wind, very difficult. Let's see if she can stay steady over this one to finish it off.
It's the first of what we would expect to be an annual appearance for Lottie Woad at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions, and Lydia Ko says, yes, we're finished. It's an accomplishment in and of itself. So the event is finished, and the champion will join us when we come back to Lake Nona. Nelly Korda, the winner of the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions.
To the winner, first winner of the LPGA Tour season, Nelly Korda. Well, it's exciting watching you execute this week. Congratulations. I know it's heavy, but let's see you hoist this trophy. Nelly Korda, winner of the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions.
getting her workout in already. Doing the deadlift there for a while.